One of the biggest issues agencies run into, and something that kills their sales, is follow-up. Not being able to follow up with inbound prospects within 5 minutes is one of the biggest deal killers. And the exact opposite is true as well. If you start following up with your leads within 5 minutes of them contacting you, all of a sudden your sales will start flying. Today on the channel, I'm talking to Chase from GoHighLevel. He is responsible for marketing and sales at this company, and what they do is help agencies add this automatic follow-up sequencing along with a ton of other stuff. So I wanted to have him on the channel. We'll talk a little bit about GoHighLevel. We'll talk about the white label platform so that you can start running your agency as a SaaS, and we'll talk about follow-up strategy to make sure that more of your deals turn into meetings. Stick around, this is going to be a good one. This video is brought to you by HighLevel, the all-in-one sales and marketing tool for agencies and consultants. More about them in a second, but first, enjoy the video. HighLevel is the marketer's toolkit with all the features you need to capture, nurture, and close leads into customers. With pricing that offers unlimited clients, unlimited users, and unlimited contacts, it saves agencies a ton of money. And the best part of the platform is it's completely white label, so you can resell the software as your own SaaS. Usually the trial is only 14 days, but I got a special deal for you. So if you use the link down below, you can get a 30-day free trial. You can just go to gohighlevel.com/Berman and check that out. But before we jump in, make sure that you subscribe down below and smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. And also leave a comment. What do you think of Chase? Let's talk about GoHighLevel. All right, let's jump into it. Welcome, Chase. Good to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, you had me on your channel, and now I was playing around with GoHighLevel. I love the system. I love everything you guys are doing. So I wanted to talk about outreach and how you guys are using cold outreach as a system, right? Because we talk about sending emails a lot on this channel, but good outreach strategy is more than just sending cold emails, right? You're using pipelines, you're nurturing leads. So let's start it off there. What is a good cold outreach system? How should people be thinking about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing to think about is that you need a system, right? It's not just focusing on the outreach. I feel like so many people get obsessed with the messaging, getting the reply, the technical setup of it. And they don't think holistically about what you're actually trying to accomplish, right? And that's like, okay, great. Yes, of course, you need to do all that stuff and optimize and figure out a way to get responses out of people. But then what? Somebody does respond, and how long does it take you to get back to them? How are you getting back to them? Like, are you tracking it? Are you using pipelines? And so it's the same, not just with cold outreach, just in business and sales in general. I'm always shocked at when I look at what people are doing. It's like, wow, you're focusing 99% of your energy on this one thing, and you're neglecting the rest of the big picture here. And so, yeah, I would say definitely make sure that you kind of take a step back and think, okay, am I covering all the bases here, or am I putting all of my time and energy into one thing and then sort of leaving money on the table?
How can GoHighLevel help with that?
Yeah, so GoHighLevel or HighLevel, which it's funny when people ask, are you GoHighLevel or HighLevel? We just say yes. It's become both.
HighLevel.
So yeah, so HighLevel is a CRM, right? At its core, there are pipelines in there. So I always love to start with a pipeline, right? And it's like, okay, what is your sales process? What has to happen for you to take a prospect that you're going to cold outreach to and turn them into a paying customer? Because we need to build those milestones as stages in the pipeline so that at any given time we can look at where everyone's at, but more importantly, look at your funnel report, right? Because pipelines convert into funnel reports, and it becomes so crystal clear where you need to spend time optimizing, right? Because if you're getting people, I'm getting 80% of my people down to like the fourth layer of my funnel, and then only like 2% turn into sales. Well, okay, now we know exactly where the problem is, and you can go focus on that. So HighLevel gives you that ability right out of the box, and then automation comes on top of it, right? So HighLevel, we've got email, two-way text message, Facebook message, Instagram DM, Google My Business Chat, WhatsApp is rolling out right now. So all the communication channels are there. And then it's like, okay, great. Well, what are we doing here? So if we're just doing cold outreach via email, we need to make sure that we have some auto replies configured so that things are happening immediately, right? When we look at studies that have been done by really smart people, like there was a professor at MIT that did a big lead study. Long story short, the number one factor is the first 5 minutes. If you don't engage a lead in the first 5 minutes that it's created, the odds of ever closing it decrease by like 80%. So you put all this time and effort into cold outreach, right? And then somebody replies. How long does it take you to get back to them? These are the types of things that we need to look at and make sure that we're leveraging automation, even if it's just something like, some quick message that's like, oh, I'm going to put this thing together for you and get back to you as soon as I can, or, within an hour or two, whatever your message is, just make sure that they're getting something back immediately. And then you look at each stage of your pipeline and look at what am I going to automate here, right? Like if it hits a certain stage, I'm going to let you know, great, I'm going to fire you a contract. It's going to come from PandaDoc. If you have any questions about it, let me know, whatever that is. You definitely want to leverage automation as much as possible to fill the gaps and make sure that there's absolutely no downtime at any stage of the process.
I've experienced that exact same thing. And I've talked about the 5 minute rule before. What I've found is it's very hard, if not impossible, to get salespeople to do the responses within 5 minutes. Like I'll do it. Like if I'm managing our chat, which I do for a bunch of our SaaSes, somebody hits our chat, I'll respond within about 10 seconds. But if you get someone who's not the founder in there, all of a sudden
Totally.
the response time goes from 10 seconds to 10 days, even like just not even checking it. So that's really cool that you can automate that. What are some of the things you can automate those responses on? Can you do it on a cold email reply?
Yeah. You can even do it like contains phrase. So you can get really intricate with that kind of stuff. And and then it gets even more fun and exciting when you pull it out of email, right? Like you mentioned chat widgets. HighLevel gives you the ability to put a chat widget on your site, your client sites, etc. And when you cold outreach somebody, what do I typically do? Well, I start investigating, right? If you sent me an interesting message, I'm going to check out who you are. What is your company about? I'm going to click through to your website. If I find a chat widget there, I'm more likely to just shoot you a quick message and see how you respond. So we can automate off of all of that stuff. We can say, okay, great. If a message comes in containing this phrase, I want to send back this response. Um, you nailed it on the head, right? Like nobody cares as much as your business about your business as you do. And that's true for our clients as well. And so we cannot rely on people to be responding within 5 minutes because it just doesn't ever happen. But we know statistically, right, that if it does happen, you're closing at rates like up to 80% better, which is insane when you think about that. So yeah, that's really the number one for me is define your process, make sure you have it laid out in a pipeline, and then start to think, okay, what can I automate? How could I improve this experience? What can I implement here to leverage tech to increase my close rates?
What have you seen? So you work with a lot of service-based businesses, a lot of agencies, right?
Totally, yeah.
So you have data on what could be working. So what have you seen? What's the ideal flow that agency owners or agency directors of sales should be doing in terms of contact, follow up, channels that you like, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I always love claim book. That's the way I think about things, right? It's like, what can I give somebody that they can claim with their information and then drive them into a booking through automation? Booking, whether it's attending a webinar, whether it's a sales call, whether it's a group sales call, whatever it is, 9 times out of 10, it's some sort of booking that needs to happen before a prospect becomes a sale. And so that's kind of the framework I think in, and that's how I try to help folks get set up. It's like, okay, well, what is your offer, right? Like I think on LeadShark, you can claim like X amount of searches or something like that, right? That's beautiful. That's what you need. If you don't have something enticing that people can claim with their data, their information, then you're missing out. And I think that's my favorite playbook. Claim something, and then boom, my automation is kicking in right away. Hey, thanks for claiming that, whatever you just claimed. The next step is to book whatever it is with us. So I'm going to send you an email that like outlines everything. I'm going to send you a conversational text like, Alex, thanks for claiming, that thing on my website that you just claimed. The next step is to book the results call. Is now a good time to get you booked? And then I can use AI, like we use Dialogflow, to read the reply and determine if it was positive or negative. So if you're like, sure, now's a good time, great. The system will automatically send you a follow-up text that says, here's the calendar, go ahead and click here to book. HighLevel has online scheduling fully built in, so you don't need Calendly. We're not trying to zap Acuity in here. You know what I mean? It's all native to the platform. So great, let's get you to a booking. And that's really the big mindset shift that I try to help people get to, whether it's for your own business or especially for your clients. You're not in the business of delivering leads, because we just talked about businesses don't know what to do with leads. You should be in the business of delivering booked appointments. Because again, if 9 times out of 10, there has to be some sort of booking before we can close a deal, well, then that's really what we want to deliver, right? I have this conversation all the time. Most business owners, SMBs, are used to referral leads, right? Which is way different than cold traffic. Referral leads are pre-primed. Somebody already did the hard part. They convinced this person that they need your good or your service, right? So they're showing up basically ready to buy. When you start sending clients cold leads off the internet, they don't understand that they still have to close this lead, right? And so it leads to the conversation of your leads stink. We don't want to pay you anymore, because they're used to traffic just showing up. What they do know what to do with are booked appointments, right? They're already having those webinars or those in-person events or those sales calls that they're doing. So if we can take the leads that we're prospecting, leverage automation to get them into a booking, now we start retaining clients, right? Now we're not fighting the battle of whether these leads stink or not. Now we're just in this game where, wow, you guys are packing our calendar. This is amazing. How do we get more of this? So I think that's like the mindset shift that I try to help people focus on the most, is get out of the idea that you sell leads, get into the business of selling appointments.
I love that so much, and that's similar to what we do at X27 now. Is we have a pay per appointment system, so we're not even selling outreach per month. We're not even selling anything like that. It's like there's an initial kickoff fee, and then they only pay once the meetings are actually booked on the calendar. So we found the exact same thing. When you
Well,
talked about oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, and then from there, it just gets better and better, right? Because when we use the pipelines and we know, okay, somebody claimed, but they haven't booked. Nurture, right? So now I'm going to be creating content that I'm going to be sending to you every day to answer the common questions that I know people have that prevent them from booking, right? So, hey, you might be wondering about this content, right? Like whatever it may be, address those fears, those concerns through automation. Because again, what sales team is actually going to do this stuff? None, right? So we leverage the automation, we take it out of human hands, we drive up those booking rates, and then we retain clients for longer.
What do you do in terms of content creation or making sure all this gets implemented? Because you said yourself, no sales team is going to do this, and you're talking about the automation, sure, but I think no sales team or very few sales teams are actually going to even write the scripts or set up the automation one time. So what do you guys do to help with that?
Well, this is the beauty of our model, right? We don't sell to businesses themselves. We sell to agencies, right? We recognize from the very beginning that the expertise lies in the agency. Small businesses don't succeed. Well, I mean, they can. They have a much higher chance of success if they work with an agency. They don't know what tech to use. They don't know how to set it up. The agency does. So we sell to the agency. We build for the agency. So, in HighLevel, we have these things called snapshots. So anything that you build in the system, you can turn into a snapshot, and then it's ready to be essentially cloned into your next client's account. So we love niches, right? This is why we encourage you to pick a niche, because then you can do things like build out the most insane nurture sequence that will work for any dentist, any accountant, any solar provider, whatever it is, right? Your agency does the legwork. You guys write the scripts. You guys find the content, right? We used to, at the agency that I used to run, we worked with a ton of med spas. So easy, right? We know every med spa sells the same stuff. It's all Botox, it's Ristylane, it's some sort of body sculpting. So you go to Botox's website, you go to Cool Sculpting's website. These companies have massive budgets. They produce amazing amounts of content at a super high quality. You take that, you turn it into your nurture content, and now boom, every time I get a med spa, I just deploy it, right? The pipeline's done, the nurture content's done, the automation's already there waiting to be turned on. And so it becomes a super scalable system to deliver just next level marketing and sales to any business. And it's all basically ready to go. You just kind of click deploy and it rolls out.
So that's saving the agencies a ton of time, and it sounds like it's helping the agencies deliver more for their clients.
And it's your advantage over software providers, right? Like do you think MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, they're not gonna like a business signs up directly, they're like, great, another subscriber, right? But they're not like, hey, I've got, we've got the most insane, 72-hour nurture sequence that we're dropping into your account. And then behind it, we have this, 365-day nurture content sequence that we made specifically for your industry as well that we're going to set up for you. And by the way, what are your most frequently asked questions? We're going to automate the replies to those. Like it just doesn't happen. And that's why we think the model's so great, right? We're empowering agencies who deliver these amazing services to also provide the tech and take the tech revenue. We haven't really even talked about that, but like SaaS revenue, as you know, the churn rate is significantly lower than services. So it's an amazing opportunity for agencies to stabilize their revenue through SaaS in addition to their services.
One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to SaaS as well is on the automation side. Like, how many SaaS companies do you sign up for the free trial or you grab the ebook and then they just stop following up after even a week? Like when we were going through the onboarding sequence, both for Taplio and for LeadShark, I made sure that the onboarding sequences never stop. So you're
Mm.
getting hit first. It's like every day for a few days, then it's every
Mm-hmm.
week, then it's every month, but it never quits. We have years of content. If anybody is watching this has signed up, because your inbox is just flooded. But that's a lot of people mess that up, and I don't know why. You have their email address, and a lot of times you have their phone number. There's no reason why you shouldn't keep hitting them until they give you a yes or no or unsubscribe.
Absolutely. And again, if you're watching this and you're early in your journey here, and you're trying to decide should you niche or should you not, this is a huge advantage into niching, right? Because you quickly learn the ins and outs of the industry. You learn the pain points. You learn the psychological factors that make people take action, and you can go really deep and create amazing content that actually motivates people to do things, and then turn it into a very scalable system for you, so that you're not spending insane amounts of time with every client you get to create this bespoke content for them. No, you already know it works, right? If it works for one med spa, it's going to work for the next. If it works for one dentist, it's going to work for the next. And so it's just this amazing opportunity to drop this whole system onto a new client and charge them both for the tech that makes it happen, right? Oh, our platform costs $199 a month. It's what powers all this automated content, and your services. Like, yeah, we're giving you a year's worth of content that's going to convert people every day. On top of maybe they want an ad package, or maybe they want an SEO package, or whatever else it is that you may offer.
So you were telling me a little bit about this earlier, the white label program. It sounds super exciting. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah. So typically, what our customer main avatar was agencies, right? Agencies that have been running ads for people, that have been doing SEO, et cetera. And HighLevel is an all-in-one tool set, right? We want to give them all the tools that they need to do great marketing in one place without needing Zapier, et cetera. The white label aspect is what has become most interesting, because in the early days for people, it was like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of like a cute branding thing. I can put my logo on it, right? And we're like, no, 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 no. The churn rate on SaaS is way less than services. Like, don't just put your logo on it, sell it. Sell it as software in addition to and separate from your services. And in 2021, we launched some new features called SaaS mode that makes it easier, right? Like, you build your plans, you set your pricing, people sign up, it automatically creates their account, it auto locks them out if they stop paying, you get to mark up the text message costs and the email costs and all that stuff. So more and more people started shifting into it. And by the end of the year, it was like 7 months later or 9 months later, we had seen about 2,500 agencies really go full on with the white label. SaaS mode is what we call it. and they collectively generated over 30 million bucks in software revenue outside of their services, right? So it was like, whoa, holy, like we're onto something here. And what we saw was more and more agencies saying, hey, I was hesitant about the white label stuff and the SaaS stuff because I really just wanted the tool set. But I got to tell you, we're like we're shutting down some of our services because we're shifting more into the white labeled SaaS. And so we're seeing more and more entrepreneurs come to HighLevel, not because they want to build traditional agencies, but because they know they can white label HighLevel and go compete against companies like Podium out of the box. It's like, wait, I can pay you one monthly fee. I can brand the software as my own, and then I can go compete against Podium and win on price every day of the week. Well, screw building my own SaaS. Like building SaaS is hard, right? Like how hard is it to find product market fit?
Product market fit is hard. The investment, I think we're literally $100,000 deep on Lead Shark development right now. And I think we're gonna have to probably spend another 25K. Like 25K, dude. I used to think that was so much, and now it's just like this is our development bill. This is what we're dealing with. So yes, it makes a lot more sense to white label if you can.
People don't understand. I mean, look, if you're an engineer and you've got a great idea, amazing. Like go for that dream. But I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are like, look, I want to build SaaS because the churn rates are the best of any industry, right? The scalability is amazing. Yeah, that's true. But finding product market fit is a long, expensive journey. And then when you find it, building a software company is extremely expensive. Your dev bill gets higher and higher every month. Your server bills get higher and higher every month. So yeah, what we're seeing now, and we're turning this into sort of like a sub brand. It's sort of its own movement of SaaSpreneurship is what we're calling it, where basically, yeah, people are just coming in as entrepreneurs and being like, look, I don't, I'm not going to run ads or I'm not going to do SEO. I just want to sell software and focus on that bundle of features where it's like, the chat widget, two-way text, reputation management, GMB chat, text to pay, all these kinds of things that every business needs. And now I can do it under my own logo. I pay you 500 bucks a month, HighLevel, and then I can sell it to as many clients as I want, and they can have as many users and as many contacts in the system. Yeah. And so it becomes this insane opportunity that we're seeing a lot of traditional entrepreneur, SaaSpreneur type people finding now. And so now we're starting to really focus on, okay, what other features could we build out for that avatar to make it even easier for them to get going? And, we're just seeing people now rack up like, oh yeah, I have like 100 SaaS subscribers. I have 200 SaaS subscribers. That's, when you're selling something for $300 a month, you know how fast it is to get to 10K MRR? Like, I feel so bad on Twitter when I watch, I feel like we're in a lot of the same circles and I watch people put their heart and souls into building this software. And it's like 8 months later, they're like, I got to 1K MRR, like finally. And it's like, oh man, like
That's the best case scenario. I saw one the other day. It was like 10 years in, he finally got the 1K, and everyone was congratulating him in the tweet.
it's like, oh my gosh, I could spin up a white label of HighLevel, walk down Main Street and get 1K MRR in 24 hours. You know what I mean? So it's an exciting opportunity that we're really pumped to speak with you guys about, help get the word out there that there is an alternate route, like white labeled SaaS is a thing.
Once agency owners see it, there's no going back. I know I would never start an agency again. Now that I understand what SaaS is, like we just talked about the high price, but like Lead Shark is worth more than we put into it already. Like the valuations make sense, the churn rate makes sense, and it is much
100%.
lower.
But I do think, to be
Crazy.
fair, I feel like you are bringing your classical agency knowledge to your SaaS. So it's not exactly like apples to apples if you're talking about comparing yourself to pure SaaS. But that's what we love, right? Like if you're really great at websites, great, white label, HighLevel, and offer website services, right? And it'll set you apart from any other SaaS in your industry. If you're really great at SEO, same thing. That's what we love, right? We love the fact that you can take what you're good at and continue doing it, but you can build a really solid business that has way higher of a chance of actually exiting than just building a traditional agency.
The service side of SaaS, I think, is underserved. So a lot of the SaaSpreneurs, the people that are having the hard time getting the 1,000 MRR, these are coders that might be making $250,000 salaries, but they're all about coding. versus the average agency owner isn't about coding. They're about sales and marketing. That's their two things. So if you take that skill set and then you add HighLevel, it's a match made in heaven. You understand the customer, you understand how to find the customer, and you understand now how to deliver via the software.
100%. And that's really the opportunity right there. And so, yeah, we're psyched. We've got, I don't know, like 15,000 agencies on the platform right now. And through them, I think almost 500,000 businesses use it every day without knowing that they're using HighLevel.
That's so cool.
It is.
Where can people go if they want to join HighLevel?
Yeah, so we actually spun up a promo link for you specifically. Normally we have a 14-day free trial. If you go to gohighlevel.com/Alex Berman, one word, you can get a 30-day free trial. So you've got a couple of extra weeks there to test it out and dig in before you sign up.
So you heard it here. Go on over to gohighlevel.com/Alex Berman and leave a comment down below. Let's talk about GoHighLevel. Get it set up first, and then let's talk down below. Maybe we can discuss your agency. We'll discuss how you're using it. I'm always really interested to hear all the different applications, all the different niches that this is being used for. And I'm sure Chase wants to hear all this stuff too.
Totally. Show us what you do, right? There's all sorts of, like, I love the Linktree trend, right? There's like Linktree and then there's a bunch of other ones. Like you can build that in 2 seconds in HighLevel. So now there's all these amazing like Linktree pages being built on the platform and white labeled. So yeah, show us what you do with it. We look forward to seeing you in the comments.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Chase.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Go check out HighLevel, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.